Hello again, sweet friends. Today we are talking all things cozy gaming. I am a self-proclaimed cozy gaming connoisseur. I grew up playing The Sims, Animal Crossing New Leaf. I love a cozy game. I love being snug as a bug in a rug, as you all know, and I love something that I can just unplug, not have to use my brain too much, and just have a good time. I am going to try and include some different types of cozy games. I want to have some for people who like decorating, for people who like puzzling, for people who like more of a storyline, I suppose. So I have some that you've probably heard of before, and I have some that maybe you haven't heard. Now, I tried to narrow it down to just a few to start with, but I could most definitely do a part 2 if anyone is interested. I play my games on a Nintendo Switch, and I have the one where you could plug it into the TV and the controllers come out. However, I never play that way. I just play handheld. I like to be able to take it with me places. I like to see it right up close to my eyeballs. Maybe it's because I can't see very well. I don't know. And I just got a while ago a little protective case for it that is Animal Crossing themed, because that is my most favorite comfort cozy game. And in this video, I'll show you a little bit around my provincial park themed island. I went with a nature theme. Anyhow, we're going to talk about all sorts of different cozy games. So with that being said, we are going to get on into it, but I hope you all have been doing well. If you have cozy game suggestions, please put them in the comments. I really would love to hear what cozy games you guys recommend. I'm always looking for something new to try. So I'm going to put you around so you can see my Switch, and we're going to get into some cozy games that I love and recommend. All right, let's jump on into my favorite cozy games. I am a self-proclaimed cozy game connoisseur. It is the only type of games I play. I don't like high stress. I don't like high stakes. I don't like too involved of a storyline. I want something where I can relax and not have to use my brain too much and just kind of get into the flow of things. So the first one I need to talk about is Wildflowers, and I'm going to load it on up and then explain it, but I feel like you can tell from the title screen already just how cozy it is. So I will say I think technically completed the game. There's always updates coming around, so we'll get out of my little workshop here, but you get to play as a witch or wizard, I guess, whoever you want to be. And there's aspects of farming and making honey and making potions and all of these different building materials to build your town, and you're helping your sick grandmother to repair the town and the farm and the magic within the town. And I love the graphics so much. First of all, it really reminds me of The Sims, which I loved playing growing up. We have our little garden beds. I don't even remember what some of these controls are. We have our greenhouse here. Like, if you love witchy botany, cozy gardening things, this is the one for you. And it's not too stressful with how the time passes either. And there's just different areas of the town that you get to explore and neighbors to talk to, people who own the local orchard. You can go down to the local town hall and you're interacting with the different villagers. You get to have little animals that you can get where you can collect their wool to make sweaters. It's such a whimsical game. That's the best way I can put it. And there's also things to do. So if you're worried about cozy games that get too repetitive, I think this is a good one because it definitely keeps you going, keeps you on your toes, and the story keeps things super interesting. So that is Wildflowers. Now, this next game I found at such a needed time in my life. I was dealing with a lot of grief, and I was looking for a very simple, cozy game where it didn't take thinking. There wasn't any stress of time passing as an issue. There was no negative repercussions for maybe doing something wrong or anything. I just needed something with a lot of positive, cozy reinforcement. And that was when I found Bunhouse, where you play as bunnies running a greenhouse, and you're just planting plants, watering them, moving them around, putting little decorative statues and sprinklers in your greenhouse, and that's pretty much it. There's not necessarily a whole lot to this game per se. I'll load it up and show you. So this is my little bunny in my little greenhouse, and you literally just run around your little area and you plant plants. You harvest fruit with your wheelbarrow from different plants, which you can sell for coins to decorate your greenhouse and get more plants and organize them by types and how much light they need and how much water they need. And that's really it. There's nothing too complex about it, but I love the chance of propagating a rare colored plant. It is just cute. It's so cozy. You can change the colors of your bunny's ears, and there's not really much else to it. You're just watering your plants, taking care of your fruit trees, putting little decorations in your greenhouse, and changing up your bunny's color. But there is something that is just so mindlessly wonderful about this. And again, I found it at a place emotionally where I really needed something that didn't require too much emotional and mental space. And fall was probably the last time I played this, since I have it decked out with pumpkins, but it's one that now I really want to revisit because I forgot just how much I love Bunhouse. Next is one of my most favorite cozy games. I think I've played this through probably 6 or 7 times, and it's Unpacking, and you are simply unpacking someone throughout different phases of their life. So from their childhood room to moving out to college, to getting their degree and moving out on their own for the first time, to moving in with a partner who maybe doesn't leave a lot of room in their space for her to move in. And it's very emotional in some ways to just see and put the stories of her life together through the boxes that she's unpacking and what you're putting away. And I'll load it up to show you what I mean with different rooms as you kind of go through the story and unlock larger homes as she's in different phases of her life. And let me tell you, the ending, the ending is very emotional. It's very happy, but you get a little screen play through after the credits of what really happened, and I'm just gonna load it on up and show you what the game looks like. So like I was saying, you have these different rooms that you get to decorate, and this is probably one of the more final levels going through, and it's not going to spoil anything, don't worry, but you can just see this is the dining room, there's her office, just all these different parts of her life, a nursery in this one that you get to see, and you unpack the boxes and put stuff away. The closet's probably one of my favorites, just organizing by colors and types of tops, and I don't know, it takes a certain kind of person maybe, but if you understand the itch to scratch with organization and getting to open all the little, do the laundry room, and everything has to go in the correct room it's meant to be in. Sometimes you'll open a box and there will be something that's meant for another room, perhaps, and you have to kind of figure out, okay, I mean, it's easy if it's something like a toothbrush, right? Where you're like, naturally a toothbrush is not going to go in the living room or something, but just these little things that don't take too much focus. You can watch a movie, hang out with your friends, whatever it might be, and still play it. And I don't know, there's just something about this, and this is not at all how I would actually be organizing them. I'm just seeing if there's anything else interesting that's going to come out of these boxes other than just the movies and the books. But it is such a special game, and I will truly, I don't think, ever get tired of it. I think I heard about this game through Julian Solomita, and never looked back. It is so wonderful. I'm curious if this is universally loved or if it's just, like I said, that specific type of audience, but I think it is just something so special. And I've been looking for other games that feel like this and haven't had too much success. I tried a little to the left and just didn't really love the graphics in it. It's similar where you're kind of organizing drawers, but it's a different vibe. But if you think this sounds good, it is probably the target audience. You are probably the perfect person for it. So that is Unpacking. Now, this next game is such a wonderful game if you like puzzles or solving things, and it's called The Gardens Between, and you walk through as 2 characters that are exploring these physical, very 3D looking puzzles. And I've been stuck on a level for months, but I'm going to show you what I mean. Maybe it'll let me go back a level to show you something that's an easier walkthrough. But if you like a puzzle, this is going to be the one for you, and it's so comfy cozy. So you're traveling through these levels together, and as you get deeper in, you can switch between which character you are to try and get through obstacles more, but it's just these little islands that you get to, and you're trying to move these orbs around to its final place to move on to the next level. So you can pick them up, you can take them with you, you can put them in other areas, and you're just journeying through each level, trying to complete the puzzle by going back and forth and figuring out the little buttons to press and how to get clear and get the orb in its final spot. Now this level was really easy. This is the introduction, of course, but they get very tricky. It definitely tests your brain. So if you are a Tetris or Jenga or puzzle type person, I think that this would be the perfect cozy game for you. And then we have Fae Farm. Now there was a lot of mixed discourse online about this game, but I personally loved it. I don't mind if a game feels a little repetitive though. I'm a big fan of Animal Crossing, right now Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So for me, it wasn't a problem, but I understand that some people are a little more critical of games, but I love Fae Farm. It's very similar to Wildflowers in my opinion, where you're playing as this fae and you're unlocking different realms and going through different like puzzle dungeons. I feel like they call them dungeons. And you're farming, you're planting crops, you're planting magical things, and you're getting to make clothing and different outfits, and it's just everything that I love in a game. So I will load it up and show you what I mean. So as you can see, I've got my little, they're actually quite big, fairy wings on here, and I have completed this game. I've done a lot of work here, so I've grown every flower there is. I've bred all the hybrids, all the colors, and have a rainbow organized garden, which is very pleasing to me. I haven't opened this game up in a little while and forgot how much I love it. And this is all just my little farm area that I've decorated here. And let's pick some pears. Why not? See what we can do with them. Anyhow, you are just hopping along, decorating your farm. There's different areas where you can do different things. I've asked too much of my Switch right now. We're getting glitchy. Now, when this first came out, there was a lot of issues with glitches in the servers. I think this is just because I chose to not update the software in the game before opening it up to show you guys. So maybe that's why we're having a little glitching, because it hasn't been updated in a little bit. But like I said, this is kind of what the graphics look like here. And you're just going through your farm, different areas in this Fae land. I named mine Viclandia, and completing different puzzle rooms. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you more because I don't want to take the time to overload my Switch's system right now, but I promise it is so pretty. Look up a trailer if it sounds interesting to you. Now, what got me into cozy gaming? My budding childhood of Animal Crossing New Leaf. And I must say, Animal Crossing's New Horizons, I have put an ungodly amount of hours into. I still play this nearly every single day. I find it so cozy and peaceful to just wander around my island. This is my, I guess, like national provincial parks themed island that I've been working on, and I'll give you guys a little tour of how fun Animal Crossing can be. I think that the decorating aspect is so much more fun than even the storyline getting through, and I've spent a lot of time villager hunting to get exactly the characters that I want in this game, and I think I've done quite a good job with my island. So I'm going to load that up and show you a little bit around and what Animal Crossing can look like if you somehow aren't familiar or are on the fence that maybe it looks a little too boring. So here is my little beachfront home with my yacht, the only world in which I can afford a yacht, and I have put some of my villagers' homes on the beach as well, because I think what more fun than to have a little seaside town. I have decorated my Able Sisters, which is the little clothing shop, with a little decor. I should probably switch it up. Probably don't need winter out now that the snow has melted in the game, but I've just put a lot of natural elements into my island here. A little like outdoor restaurant patio. Here's Coco. Coco's hanging out, Rosie, and really tried to just make little neighborhoods. So here I have my little suburb, if you will, of a few of my villagers' homes, and I've done a lot of terraforming as well here. So I have some nice natural elements that I tried to go with this national park theme. I have my museum up here with a little cinema roll cafe from the Sanrio collab that they did a while ago. I have a little campsite here, and I've just tried to really soak in those natural elements. I've seen some people do some really creative things with their islands. I just watched a walkthrough. Holy weeds are taken over. I just watched a walkthrough of somebody with a Studio Ghibli themed island. People have done all sorts of things. I've seen Shrek themed islands. There's custom patterns that you can make. Oh, my little campfire where you can sit on the logs and have a little campfire with your villagers. and I just think this is such a nice creative outlet to work on, and I've really enjoyed I'm not going to lie, thousands of hours that I have put into this game, and it was a big part of my life during the lockdowns and everything. A little drive-in campsite. I just think it is so fun and cozy, and again, just something mindless that you can play and not have to think too hard about. So that's Animal Crossing. Seriously, if you are considering it and somehow have never played, I just cannot recommend it enough. My little farm. Yay! And there's also expansions you can get where you can just decorate homes with all of the items. It's called Happy Home Network. There's a lot of things that you can do in this, and I, 5 years later, am still enjoying it so much. So here's to Animal Crossing that has got me through some really hard times and will forever be the ultimate cozy game. Now, I wanted to include a diverse array of cozy games in here. So Coffee Talk is one that I simply must talk about. So I love this game for the graphic styles. I love how simple it is. It's like always raining. It's so cozy, and you're just talking to your customers and making them coffees. You're playing the barista, and you get to travel through the game by hearing different people's stories and connecting the dots of who knows who, getting to know their drink orders, getting to know what orders satisfy what kind of people's cravings, getting their coffee and seeing if they like it, which they don't always, but I just love this game. I think it is so cozy if maybe you don't want to watch TV, you don't want to play a super involved game. It's like the perfect crossover of just a cozy cafe interacting with the customers. There's nothing too complex. You're literally just talking to people and making them coffee, and that's the whole point of it. And what I love so much, I love a game. It's similar to Unpacking, where you just unfold a story through talking to people. We have our next character. Anyhow, this is what I mean, just unfolding who these people are. We don't even know her name right now. It's just question marks and making their coffee orders. And I don't know, I think that the developers of this just had a really sweet idea that they ran with. And that's Coffee Talk. That's Coffee Talk. Like I said, it's not too complex, but there's something so cozy about a cafe sim where there's no timed events. Again, it's low stress in that way, and just meeting different people and hearing their stories unfold. And then there is my most recent cozy game that I have been quite invested in, which is Hello Kitty Island Adventure. And if you're in the cozy gaming world, you probably already know about it. And I have sunk probably way too many hours in so far. It's nighttime right now. The days kind of ebb and flow. I think it's about every 25 minutes of real time. However, even as these days ebb and flow, it still goes off of our real life clock. So no matter how many in-game days there are, there's certain things that just reset with our real days. So the time aspect doesn't feel too stressful for me, which I really like. And you're basically just going around giving gifts to different characters to level them up. I'm already besties with my Melody here. Let's give her some strawberry almond Gillette. Why not? She's gonna like that. And in return, she will give you items to help you make crafts and whatnot. There's, you know, homes that you can decorate both for visitors and your own space. Anyhow, I love a decorating game. I love how cute the Sanrio characters are, my sweet piano. And you get to find out which gifts they like the most and what's going to level up their friendship the most. I just think this has been super sweet and fun to play. Ooh, we leveled up. Anyhow, there is so much world to be explored in this game, and I think that's why I like it so much. Is some other games like this, there's not a lot to see, maybe. In here we have like the resort, and like this is my map, the swamp, and then underwater where you're swimming. So here I am swimming as a little mermaid underwater, and I will say it is a lot of like collecting resources, crafting, which might feel repetitive to some folk, cleaning up the ocean, the trash. But I love that. I love something mundane that I don't have to think too hard about. There's still lots of storyline. You're restoring the island. Trust me, it was a very involved process to even get to the point to unlock the swimming and the fishtail. But I absolutely adore it. I love watching people stream this game as well. I think it is just such a cutie and cozy game to watch people play, and there's so much to do and so many characters to explore. So those were some of my favorite cozy games. I hope that maybe it gave you some ideas if you're looking for some cozy games to get into yourself. I think that now more than ever in this world, we need little things that can just bring us a semblance of peace and normalcy, and escapism is okay to a degree. Self-preservation is important. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Go brew yourself a nice little cup of tea, fill your water bottle, get into a little cozy game, and take care of yourself, because I know it's a very hard time to exist, and that's a whole other topic to get into. But let me know what cozy games you like to play down in the comments, anything else that you'd like to see, or if you want a part 2. But I'm gonna hop up on out of here, and I will see you guys next week.